What's going on, guys? It's Shank, and I'm going to show you how to make a logo, import a logo, and touch up a logo, pretty much. So, yeah, it's just a little tutorial I decided to make because a lot of people don't know how to do it. And, yeah, so what I just did was, let's close that, that's for later. What I did was I opened up Photoshop. You gotta have Photoshop or any other Illustrator or anything, and I'm just gonna make a really quick logo. You can even import an image, really. Like it doesn't matter. Let's go with phase because it's a pretty easy logo. Let's make a new layer. Let's actually change the color to black, and you're just gonna want to do that. Do that. You want to tick this. This is pretty much to hide the layer. And if you don't want that, you could just make that into a layer and delete it, and now you just have this. This is your only layer. Now, yeah, it looks fine. So what you're gonna do is hold Control or Command or I don't know what it is for PC, but I think it's Shift. No, okay, well, whatever it is. So for Mac users, just hold Command and click on the this little square over here, and it should have a little dashing outline of it. So you're just going to want to go over here and you're going to click this tool right here, the rectangular marquee. You're going to just right click and you're going to go down to make work path. And the tolerance is 2, so you can just leave it at that. So let's go to paths, and here you have it. So what you're going to do from here is go to File, Export, Paths to Illustrator, Work Path, okay, and Desktop. 2. Okay, now that you've exported it to your desktop or wherever you have, go ahead and open up Cinema 4D. And what you're going to do is you're going to have to open the, go ahead and make a Lightroom. I already have a preset, or you could download one from wherever. I like this one because, you know, I just mess around with this one a lot. And fixed it up. Now you're going to click merge, and you're going to go to your file, whatever you saved it as, and you're just going to want to hit OK and import it there. And now you have this little outline of your logo here. So let me just delete this actually really quickly, and here you go. So what you're going to want to do from here is you're going to just really quickly, if you have more than one spline, it's okay. For the sake of time and this tutorial, I'm just gonna have one spline. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go over here to this little cube, and you're gonna click on Extrude NURB. Now, as I said, if you have more than one extrude or spline, then you're gonna need more, however many extrude NURBs there is for the splines. So now that I imported it, it'll be like this. It'll be 3D. Before it was just 2D. So what I did was I just dragged it in, and make sure the arrow's pointing down so it's grouped together under this. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to Extrude NURB, and you're gonna go to Objects, and you can really just play around here. You could just do whatever you want. You could make that go back. You could go that to 15. And I wouldn't mess around with this too much. This is more for like I don't know what it's really used for. I'm not that advanced in this software, but I know the basics of it. So what I did just there is I went to Objects. Actually, maybe let's put it to 50. Yeah, 50 looks about 30. Just play around with that. Yeah, 30 looks good. Now I went to Caps, and I put this on Fillet and this on Fillet. Now, make sure you put the radius as 1 or 2 or however many you want. You could even go to the decimals, like 0.2, or what I like is actually 0.5 because it just adds a small indent and it looks nice. So convex is fine. You can put engraved if you want for this type of effect. You see, it kind of like pops out more, but I just want it basic, so convex. And I actually prefer this because it adds a little shine to it so it looks nice. So that's that. Now I'm just going to actually Let's just put this there and that there. Okay, now that I have that, you don't need to worry about that. You could. This is just for textures, really. I just put this for a texture. Let's actually put cubic on. Okay, let's. Oh, Jesus. Let's put this cubic and let's render. Yeah. Okay, let's actually move this down. Let's put number 2 in. You guys don't need to do this. I'm just doing this because I want a good texture in. So let's move that there. Let's see how it looks. Right now it's just black because, yeah, it's not that great. You know what? Actually, let's make our own texture. How about that? Yeah, I think that's better. Oh shit. If you ever happen to do this, just kind of scroll back out. You know, I kind of messed up there, but yeah, that's about where it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it looks fine. Okay, actually, let's have it like you know, you could play around with this. Make sure you have a camera in it though, and make sure you tick this, because without the camera, it's gonna be out of focus, and it's you know. But with the camera, it's adjusted, and you can just, you know, tilt, turn, do whatever. Try to find the good angle. And now let's create a little texture. I'm gonna go ahead and use gray because I wanna put a texture on it later in Photoshop. So you can go ahead and double click it actually. And here you have your colors and everything. I would recommend putting it on gray right for now. Later you can experiment with different colors and different what's the word, filters, I suppose. For now I'm just doing this really quickly. Let's actually first drag it in, because you know, you just need to drag it in to make sure it's nice, and you can see the difference. So my color is that. Let's actually have it a little bit lighter. Luminance, you can increase that. This just makes it a little brighter. Reflection's pretty important. Having a reflection is it's pretty nice. It, you know, adds a little effect to it. Okay, and I would just add a, no, not a glow. I suppose this is it. You know, just a quick little texture, and here it is. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go to render settings over here. Actually, you can just pre-render it. This is the pre-render button. This is just going to render whatever you want to see. Or if you want to just render a small region, you hold this little middle button, and you click on render region, and it'll have this little tool, and you can just drag and it'll just render that part out. And it's very helpful because, you know, if you don't want to render the entire thing, you just want to see if a spot clears up or something, you know, it's very useful. So now that we have that, let's go to render settings. You can go ahead and just copy this, you know. You can pause it during the settings. This is just pretty much what I have. And one thing I would mention is if you have like a Lightroom, it usually comes with its own render settings. So what I recommend is going to your save, okay, and making sure that the file save location is directed to your computer, because if it's directed to like someone else's or the person that gave you the Lightroom's computer, it's not going to render out because the directory is just invalid. So what you're going to do is just click this and click on wherever you want to save, and just hit save, and you know, that's just an extra precaution, because if you don't, then sometimes it just messes up. And okay, so now you're just going to click on this, just hit it once, and it should begin rendering. Now my material and logo was pretty simple, so it rendered out pretty quickly, but if you have a lot of textures and plugins, then it's a different story. Now 500 by 500 isn't bad, so I'm just going to use this for now. I'm going to go ahead and open that texture, or the logo in Photoshop, and let's just drag it in. It's a bit big, so let's resize it down, and resize it down again, resize it, and until you find a pretty good size. Now you can just delete the logo in the back, delete that. I think I deleted the paths too, actually. Yeah. Okay, now all there is left is this. Now you're gonna click on this, and you'll have a new layer. It's always good to have a new layer. I would click on this so you can have a backdrop, and let's just move that up. Now is the fun part, because here you can just go, you know, all out. You can edit it as much as you want. You can change things. You can do whatever you want with the logo. And for the sake of the purpose of this, you know, tutorial, I'm just gonna find some quick textures, maybe a flag or something cool, and I'll just smack that on there. So let's see. Okay. You know, if you want to just make the edges look really cool and, you know, crisp, I would click on the pen tool, make sure it's on, crap, I think path. Yeah, let's just see. Click on the layer tool again, and you just want to highlight the edges. So let's highlight that, that, and you can hold shift and it'll just draw a straight line across, but since my logo's not straight, I'm just gonna click on the other end. So now you're gonna right click and click on stroke path, and you can go to brush, and I just messed up a bit. 1 second. Make sure your brush is on a solid. So go to brush, your brush tool, click on the solid, and I would change that to about 2. Let's maybe 5. Yeah, 5 looks about good. Wait, is it? I wouldn't know. Let's change it to... You can change it to any color you want. I'm gonna change it to red. So let's see how big it is. Okay. I would say 3. 3. Okay, yeah. 3 looks about right. So just go ahead and go back to your pen tool. Right click on the line, stroke path, and click on brush. Now you'll get this one streak, and you're just going to want to right click and delete path, and you'll have this one streak. And it looks kind of messy for now, but click on your eraser tool and make sure it's on the soft eraser, not the hard one, but the soft one. And you can just, you know, make it smaller and just gently stroke like that. Sounds wrong, I know, but that's just, yeah. Okay, now you can change it to linear. You can change it to, actually, that doesn't look too bad. Let's move it a little lower. Okay, it doesn't show if it's lower, so let's put it back to normal. I'm zooming up really close so I can adjust like that, and yeah, there we go. So that just adds a little red line. It'll look nice in the final touching. You could just move it down here, or actually you can make another line, and you can have this one just do the same thing you did with it. I like to add it on the edges because it looks nice. So like that and like that. Oh wait, stroke path, brush, and delete path. You can just lightly erase it so it kind of fades into it, you know. It's just a nice little effect that I like to put on some of my logos. You can, you know, you can continue doing this for however many you want. I'm just gonna do about 2 more, and I will continue with the textures. So let's, oh, stroke path, click on that, delete path. Let's move this a little lower. Yeah, and let's just lightly erase. Let's make it smaller, and oh, and I think that looks fine. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. Now that you have, okay, you know what, actually, let's delete those. Sorry about that. You can do that, that's optional. I'm just gonna move this. Actually, it's fine where it is. Okay. Sorry about that. I mean, I'll probably add a little thing that, you know, skip this part or something. So, let's first add textures to this. So let's add this texture. Let's see. This looks like a good texture. Yeah. Let's make the opacity a little bit lower. I like putting on a lot of textures, but keeping the opacity very low, so you know it just blends in really nicely. So my next texture, probably be this one. Yeah, let's try this one. Yeah, that's not bad. Add that right there. Lower the opacity, and that looks fine. Okay. All right. So now let's close that. What I would do is I would make a group, so just click on all the textures, drag into the group, and there you go. So I would create clipping mask, and what that does is it just focuses on this one layer, so it won't show in the background, and it's very helpful because you know it won't look that ugly if you have it just a PNG. So like say you do that, see it's just clean, but if you release clipping image, then you can see the textures in the back. So that's just a little tip. I want to add some flares. Now, people use flares a lot. I use flares a lot too. I don't know. I mean, it just looks pretty nice. And this is a good substitute for the little outlining part. You don't have to do this. You could really just get a flare and change the color, and you would have it. By the way, if you want to change the color of a layer, make sure it's not a smart object or rasterized. Just hit Command or Control and hit U, and this menu should pop up, and you can change it to whatever color you want. So I'm just gonna change this to a little gray. I don't know. I feel pretty gray today. Sounds depressing, but yeah. You could just move this to the edges of wherever you want. I'm gonna go ahead and increase the size of this, erase the little edges, and get this again. I would put it about there, and then erase. So now it just looks very nice and like glowy and shiny. So let's do that. Make it smaller. And let's adjust it a bit more. Sorry, I'm a very picky person. That looks about right. Okay, just erase. And I think I'm just gonna add one more, like right here. So, like that. And then, just like that. And there we go. So now we have our little logo. I know that looks pretty ugly, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just gonna keep the background black. Okay. Now, I'm gonna add a picture or flag or whatever. So, I'm gonna use this ghost image because it looks nice. It has the texture itself too. So, all you're gonna do is you're just gonna drag it over here, and you could put it up and hit Control, create copy or clipping image. And what that does is that just, you know, does what I told you it does. It makes it smaller. I always keep one in the back and make sure that it's not rasterized. It's just there. And click on overlay. And if you see now, it looks like it's part of the logo. So that's a pretty cool little what's the word for it? It's just a nice little addition to your logo. You don't really have to have one, but I prefer to have one. What I'm doing right now is I'm gonna go to my group and I'm gonna click on the logo and I'm gonna change the color a bit. So I'm gonna click on this, take that, go on color overlay, click here, overlay again, and I'm gonna make it a little darker so it shows, yeah, like that. See, now it's starting to look a little better, you know, looks a lot better. Gonna hit a drop shadow, or no, gradient layer. What gradient layers do is they just add like a effect. So like if I take this out and I do this, it looks very, okay, you can't tell now, but hold on, let me change this. So now look, so it kind of adds like two colors. It combines two colors and it makes them into one. So what the color overlay does, it has only one, but the gradient layer, it has two. But you can combine both of them and mix and match and experiment with that. I've been doing that all these years, and look at where I am. I'm joking, but you can play around with this. And what I usually do for this is I don't have that. Oh wait, crap. I would click on that. Nope, not that. Yeah, I would do this. I would. I think this comes with the preset already, but it just makes it invisible but darker. So there's no secondary color. It just makes it a lot darker in the bottom, and it adds a cool effect. So it's like that. Let's make it soft light. Yeah, soft light looks okay. Now okay, this should be black. Okay, there we go. Okay. Now the logo's starting to look a lot better. And what I mean by flags is, you know, you could put whatever you want. So let's just find flag. Can't really spell right now. Alright, let's just use USA. Flag, HC. Images. Here. View full image. Let's drag this on. Okay. So let's make this smaller. And right here, uncover that and overlay this. Now see, it has the American flag, and I don't know, it looks pretty nice. I like it. And you know, you could just put any image you want, really, any image, and it'll just stick to it. As long as you have overlay, don't forget overlay. Having overlay, it's nice. You know, it's nice. So I'm gonna find one more example of that. So let's see, what's an image? You know, let's just do HD wallpapers. See what we find. Okay, this is pretty cool. Let's see what we can make out of this. Okay, you know, let's just drag this on here. Okay, now drag it on here. This is a huge image. Holy crap. I'm gonna make it smaller, right about there. And then you're just gonna want to hit overlay, and bam, there you go. You could also lower the opacity, but I wouldn't recommend it too much. Don't lower it too much, because then it's just kind of ugly and faded. Or if you like that, then, you know, it's really your preference. Like that, you know. But let's just stick with ghosts for now. And what I like to do is I like to add the backdrop over here, so it looks like it's like actually in the background. You know, it's blended in. So let's do this. And what I do is I just lower it in the background, so it just blends properly. Actually, let's make it even lower. Okay, there. See, it kind of adds the effect of it like being shadowed in the back, and then the logo's just popping out. Now, what can I put on it? Alright, you know what? I think it looks fine for now. So if you want text, you can go ahead and click on this little text box over here, and you just click on it. That is way too big, so let's make this like 10, make this white. What font is that? Nope, don't want to use that font. Black Ops 2. Let's just do phase. Yeah, whatever. Okay, now we have the typography. Oh, you can go on typography over here in your little tab, and it'll change the layout over here, and it'll just look like that. What I like to do for logos, especially, is this little thing. I'd like to increase it, like up to, I don't know, 200. And actually, this is a bad font. Let's use Edge. Yeah, Edge. Now, you know, it all really depends on what the font is. You know, you just mess around with it. You can drag this and phase, okay. Now, for this, you double click on the text box, and you can go on gradient layer, and you can go, and you can mess around with these settings, you know. I have a, where is it? Okay, you know what, I'll just make it from scratch. So, this should be already in your presets, so, already it looks nice, but let's make it a little better. What I like to do is I like to click on this. I like to make this a little light, you know, kind of a metallic look. So I'll give it a metallic look. So actually, let's make this lighter. Click right here and drag that down a bit, just a little bit. Click over here, drag this up again, and this a little less. And actually, this is too dark, so let's increase like that. Okay. Now let's click on this, put this on soft light, and go on white. Drop shadow. Oh wait, no, not yet. Okay. So you know you can just reverse this. I usually reverse it so I can see what it looks like, and I like this better. So um, let's go ahead and click on stroke then. Then let's do outside. Let's put this to about, you know, 1. You know what? I'm gonna increase the size a bit. I think it's italic. Yeah, it's italic. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to replicate the phase logo. And I think it's at like 50. Yeah, close enough. So let's go ahead and do that. And I would actually make this. Well, let's make this red. Yeah, red looks good. Okay. Now, if you want an image on this too, just first I'd make a copy of that. Right click, convert to smart image, rasterize, and then make another copy of this. Go to here, right click, create image, and there you go. You have a little logo in here. Okay. Well, that looks really ugly. Sorry, but yeah. Let's delete that. Let's bring this back, and let's make this darker. Stroke. Oh, I think it should be. Yeah, it's on the inside. Sorry about that. So make it on the inside and make it the opposite or the lightest color to whatever the colors are. So if it's dark red, then make it red, so it just pops out like that. And outer glow, I don't know, it's really your opinion what you want. I'm just gonna put a little bit of it so it just stands out slightly. So let's do that. Spread like that. Yeah, that looks nice. And we're pretty much done. Inner shadow? Yeah, inner shadow. You know, just mess around with these settings. And always make sure you click OK after you do something. Like, if you hit cancel, it's just gonna mess up everything, and you're gonna be mad, and you're gonna hate Photoshop and hate your life, and it's just a bad mess. So I'm just gonna do that, hit OK, and there's the logo. So yeah, I would save this as a PSD, like Shank or Phase or LOL swag or LOL or whatever. Let's just change this back to Phase. Okay. Now, what am I forgetting? Anything? Okay, yeah. Let's put on a gradient map. So go down here. This is the final touches. Go down here to gradient map. Right click on, or not right click, but click on the top and put it on overlay or soft lay. And as you see, it changes the entire thing completely differently. I put on black and white. I put it on like really low because it just makes it a little bit darker. You can put on hue. I don't think it'll do much though. Yeah, it really depends on the color you chose. I just chose black because it was cool. So let's curves. Curves are pretty important. So you just want to grab one by the bottom and grab one at the top, bring it up, and you can move it around and it'll just adjust to your will. So I want to make it a little lighter, just like that. Okay, now exposure, this is just the lighting. So if you put on that, it's a lot. If you put on this, it's none. So what I do is I just put like plus 8. And then offset, I wouldn't mess with that too much. Gamma correction. I'm gonna put that at 1. Now I'm gonna just go to brightness and contrast. Let's increase that. Contrast, not so much. And actually, I don't like the inner shadow, or not the inner shadow, the inner glow, and the outer glow. Actually, the outer glow is fine. Okay, I mean, you could really just mess around with this all you want, and I think we're done. So to put this out as an actual image, you're just gonna click on File. Many people click on Save As, and then they click on JPEG or whatever. But what I prefer, and many people should do, is save for web, because you're just saving it for the web, and they have an option for that. So put it on PNG 24. If the file size is too big, just bump it down to PNG 8. It's the same thing, really. You might see like slight differences, but it's fine. Or if you don't like the differences too much, you can go on JPEG and put it to maximum. But I use PNG 24 because I think that's the best. It's really your opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Phase. Okay, and replace. Where is it? Oh, here it is. And there you go. So that's how you make a logo from exporting it from a PNG to Cinema 4D and back to Photoshop and just editing it up. If you guys want to see more tutorials, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.